Okay, welcome guys to the next Blender tutorial. So I've got a little bit of a treat for you today, in the form of pumpkins. So I have 3 little pumpkins that are all going on right here today. So what I did was I was going to go to the shop and buy some big pumpkins, but the only problem is that the big pumpkins had a few imperfections, and also I mean, it's a good thing that they had a few imperfections, to be honest with you, but these looks way cuter. You see this? Like, they're so cute. So I thought we'd do some texturing today, because I just thought that these looks absolutely amazing to make textures from. So and then we've got the third one as well, which has got like a couple of bumps and imperfections. Hold on, let me see if I can hold them all up. Oh, they're like, they've been kept in the fridge for the last week. So that's what they look like. It's a great demonstration. I'll get some photos up on here, don't worry about it. So yeah, I thought these 3 have different types of textures. So what I'm going to do for you today is look at textures and how to make pumpkins in the light of Halloween, I guess. So yeah, stick around and we'll learn how to make pumpkins. Okay, so we've got our little picture of our pumpkins right here, and all the different textures that are going on within these little pumpkins that we've got. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just take this off just for one moment, and we're going to go with the first pumpkin right here, which is this one. And you can see that this one's quite wrinkly compared to the other ones. It's actually got some nice character to it. I like this one. So this is one with a really large stalk on it. And it's kind of got this little imperfection at the top as well, if you guys can see that. You got some like little textures going on and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do... Oh, they spin. They spin if you put them on a surface. They're quite... I like to experiment with stuff as well, because if you spin them on a surface, you'll actually find that they're not perfectly flat. They do have this nice little bump to the bottom of them. So definitely I will incorporate that into the settings and our sculptures. And then this one has like a little imperfection at the bottom as well, if you guys can see that. So yeah, like absolutely we're going to try and put these in. So yeah, the first one that we have, yeah, let's go ahead and build it. So this is my way of making pumpkins. If you've got your own way of making pumpkins, totally up to you what you'd like to do with your pumpkins. So let's go ahead. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and delete the default cube first and foremost, because we don't need that. 1 second. That's my software that I'm trying to delete there. Right, okay, so pumpkin 1, let's go with this one. To be honest with you, I'm just going to move the pumpkins a little bit, because they are kind of in my way right now. So pumpkin 2 and pumpkin 3. Right, okay, so let's go ahead with pumpkin 1. So we're going to want to start off with an add, and we want to go ahead and we can add a UV sphere. Press S to scale this up. What we're going to have to do as well is go to the render engine, switch out EV for cycles. You want to shade this smooth, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to press S for scale on this one. So let's go to screencast keys real quick so you guys can see what I'm doing. S to scale it down just ever so slightly. And what we want to do, in theory, let's go for a side view and top view on this one. So I'm just going to press 1 for the side view, and then we've kind of got this kind of experimental little bit that we can have right here. So what we're going to do, take this, we're going to go to edit mode, and I'm going to right click subdivide. So we're going to need a couple more extra faces for this project, especially the first pumpkin, because this is just going to be so detailed. So we're going to go over to the sculpt mode real quick, and what we're going to do, we've already got these little bumps on it, which is kind of great. We're going to go ahead and just flatten the bottom. So we could use clay foam for this, or we could use the flatten / contrast. So just pull up your radius just a little bit, maybe your strength as well. And we're just going to start to flatten out the bottom of the pumpkin right here, because this particular pumpkin has quite a flat bottom. So we're going to make the general shape of the pumpkin to begin with, and then we'll add the lines into this thereafter. So let's go ahead, just kind of pull this around a little bit. Not too flat in areas, but just flat enough so it's got some imperfections. You can rotate this round with the center scroll just by pressing it in, just as such. You can see the instructions right here, just on the side. And I'm just going to go ahead and just flatten this in. So, once we've got this nice flat bottom, I'm going to do... We need a flat top as well. So, let's just finish this up real quick. I'm going to turn this around, go to the top. And what we're going to have is, I'm going to do this in two parts. So you've got the stalk at the top, and then you've got the kind of base bit as well. I've just realised something as well. My photo's in the way. So I'm so sorry about that. Let's put the photo right here. So you've got center scroll right here. You just want to go ahead and just click to kind of make it flat, and then to move the camera around you like this. So we kind of just want to make this kind of flat at the top. It doesn't have to be perfect. Not every pumpkin's perfect. But we're making something of this the way that it is. So you can have kind of like a lopside on one side if you'd like. Let's go ahead. Just squish that in a little bit. Make those little imperfections. I think that's too much, to be honest with you, on my model, but let's go backtrack a little bit. I just want to get rid of this. Yeah, okay, so I kind of like this. So what I'm going to do, you can do this in one of two ways. You can either add to the model, or you can take away from the model. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the ridges in the middle. So these ridges, you can see that they're not straight, they're not perfect. They've got little lines to them, a lot of different wrinkles and stuff like that. So what you can do with this, and what I'm going to do is, let's just reduce the strength just slightly and the radius just slightly. We're going to do a little pimple just in the middle right here. So we've got a little bit of a dip just in the top, so to speak. You could also use a pull tool here. Just kind of pull this in just a little bit. This is where the stalk's going to sit. So just pulling the sides just ever so slightly. Kind of give it that nice little imperfection. You want it just about here in the middle. And if you make a mistake on the side as well, you've got the smooth tool, which should be, I believe. You can use clay if you want to. They've changed some of these. And you've also got this one as well, which kind of is cool. Just to pull things around. Just kind of make those sides a little bit bumpy. Stuff like that. So, you've also got a flatten tool as well that you can use. Just come up here at the side. You don't want it too deep in the middle, but you want kind of that little curve coming in. So, as I said originally, it doesn't matter whether it's inwards or it's outwards. What you're going to need is just something to make little bumps with. So I'm going to do mine outwards. So just start with this side. Might be a little bit too much at the side right here, so you can just go ahead and backtrack. Change down your strength if you need to, the radius up. I would say to about 100 at least. So you can get those nice little bumps in. Go around this side. Sometimes people use mirror modifiers to do this, but to be honest with you, I think you have more control if you could just do it yourself, kind of thing. Just gonna pull that up right there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go into minus. So let's click on the minus icon. You just want to go in between these. So because these are quite big kind of folds coming in, we're just going to go minus. And then set your radius to a little bit lower. And we're just going to go in and just make some fine details. Just kind of pull this in just here. I might be getting a new microphone as well to do my tutorials with, because I feel that this mic is just too low. It's just not for me. I feel like I'm eating the mic. I'm like here, like lips to the grill kind of thing. And it's just a little bit tedious, to be honest with you. Yeah, as you come into the center here, just kind of make the lines a little bit more thinner. Just kind of come in. It doesn't have to look perfect if this is the first time that you've sculpted something like this. Don't worry about it. Practice. And eventually you should get there. Yeah, I can hear the voice of someone saying like, oh yeah, 1,000 hours doing something and you'll perfect it. But I guess it depends person by person, you know what I mean? Like, I know people that have learnt things really quickly, and then, you know, for me it's like I've taken my time sometimes with learning things, and that's okay too. Don't worry about it. This is your project. You know, everyone kind of finds their place eventually with artistic stuff and art and stuff like that. You know, people have told me that AI is eventually going to kind of take over what I do, but, you know, AI is very good at doing things, but, you know, it takes a human touch sometimes. I'm just going to go ahead and just scale down my radius just here, and then I'm just going to follow the kind of curves and the concaves that we've got going on here. Just a bit thinner to the middle. Just gonna pull that in. So, yeah, you kind of have this thing on top. I don't know whether you guys can see on the camera, if you guys want to see that. There we go. So that's what it looks like on top. So, what I'm going to do, make these inner ridges, and then we're going to build up the outside once more. So, inner ridge, inner ridge. I'm just going to go ahead, just scale down that radius just ever so slightly. Just bring this in. You want it quite relatively flat in the middle. Just to about there. So let's go around on that side. Let's go around on this side. Let's go ahead and pull some of these vertices in. And then what I'm going to do, let's go with like a pinch kind of tool. I think this is pinch, yeah, pinch. So we could pinch some of this just ever so slightly as well. Just kind of pull that in. Just to refine some of those details. Just turn your strength up a little bit with it. Should be fine. See what I mean? You could pull, make some more details. Might take you a while, but you get the hang of it. Make some nice little kind of veins, I guess you'd call them. Kind of coming into the middle right there. Okay, so this outside part right here, what I'm going to do, let's go with the blob tool and plus pull your strength up a little bit. You might want to turn up your radius too. I just kind of define some of these going around the edge just ever so slightly. Just build up that build up that nice little layer. going to pull this one out just a little bit more. I think that we could have one just here, kind of just peeking in. Little imperfection. I don't like that little blob. If you've got an issue, just Control-Z it. Let's go with that outside one there. A little bit more round. I can see on this one as well, some of it's really smooth in some places, and then other places it's kind of like really stuck out there. So let's continue going round, and then we'll start adding little imperfections, smoothing some little bits out, and just primarily making the pumpkin a bit more pumpkin-y. So, once I've got to this bit right here, what I'm going to do, let's go clay. Let's just put a little bit of clay on this side, just make that little imperfection. And then I said as well, this actually rolls around on the desk. It kind of likes to roll under its own weight. So, we could go ahead and just kind of add a little bit of a base to this. So, let's pull that imperfection out, push this in. And we got that little base going on. I'm going to go ahead and just make this a little bit smaller and just kind of put a little tuff on the bottom just here. So, once we get to the other bit, usually we do the stalk and we kind of build it up from here, but to be honest with you, I kind of just want to make it, I'd like to sculpt it a little. What I'm going to do, let's build up some of this in the middle as well. So you want the blob tool really, strength is good, but just kind of pull this up. Just ever so slightly, just give it those nice little ridges. Just come up with this, up. Got those nice little ridges kind of starting to appear, some little details and stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull some of these in as well. Oh, my hand's gone numb. I'm literally sat here going, and my hand's just like, it's gone. Right, let's see. So, I'm going to pull some of these in. So, let's go minus. Take the strength down a little bit. Take the radius down. Actually, you know what? Strength might actually be good to be up. And then just kind of put this in between. Let's go that way. Pull it in this way. It doesn't have to look like the picture, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's just kind of a reference to what you'd like, really. Might take you a while to do like all of the details, to be honest with you. I'm kind of sat here just kind of like chilled about it, but yeah, depends what you want to do. So let's put that in. It's going to take you a couple of times as well, just to get kind of the details in the right place that you want. Go ahead and just pull that in just a little bit more. Go to the bottom as well. Let's not neglect the bottom. You want it nice and smooth at the bottom. You see on the camera right here. Oh, did I get the right? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, so yeah, you can see on the camera right here there's little imperfections and stuff like that. But it's relatively smooth. If I kind of put that in the light a little bit, you can see how it's smooth, but you've got like the little bumps and stuff like that. Whereas the top isn't very smooth. And you can see the little partitions. Yeah. So, I'd say experiment. See what's going on with yours. To be honest with you, I think I might leave mine like this. I think there's certain things that I can do. I need to smooth out certain things. But, to be honest with you, for this tutorial, it kind of looks good. So, yeah, let's go ahead. We can have a little bit of smooth as well. Radius. I might smooth that out just a little bit. That's a little bit too much. That's just a bit too much right there. Right, just get rid of that a little. Okay, so we'll leave it at that bit. What we can do now is, if we go into render, you can see how this is how it's going to look. And if we go into objects mode, right click shade smooth if you haven't already. We're going to go up to the shading tab, and we're going to start to do some of the materials for this. So for this particular piece, now depending on what you want to do, because these have been sat in my fridge, they do have a little bit of moisture on top of them. So I mean, when they're sat in the store, they have more of a rubbery look kind of thing, but these have been sat in my fridge for a couple of days. So depending on what you want will be the outcome. So with this particular one, we can see that the texture, if I can bring up let's see, let's try if I can bring up this picture a little bit. Come on, let me. Okay, so huge picture. You can see the way that the texture is right there. So I might just leave this here actually, so you guys can see that. So what we can do, I'm not going to leave it across the entire screen because obviously you guys need to see what's going on, but you can pause primarily just to see what's going on. 1 second. I'm just trying to... This is the only problem with this software. It doesn't scale down very well. Come on. I'm like hovering over the blooming corner right here, and it's just not responding. There we go. Okay. So, the texture for this one, obviously we're going to want orange. It's going to be an obvious one, so let's go with orange for this one. Now, this won't be the tone that we've got, but I can put orange on there. Let's go with add. And I'm going to go noise texture. Noise texture. Let's go with color to base color. Yeah, 1 second. I think I've just got a massage off someone. So now we can see that we've got the base color right here, and we've got all this nice little fuzzy stuff that's going over the edge. Now this is going to be used for the texturing. So with the texturing on this, you've kind of got two different kinds of textures. You've got the tone texture, and then you've also got the physical texture as well. Now the physical texture we can change, we can make this a little bit different. So we'll go with the tone texture to begin with. So the tone texture, we generally have this nice kind of orange, and then we've kind of got this kind of very light orange at the bottom, and then we have like this green coming through as well. Now I'm not too sure whether it's just getting spots because it naturally spots, or whether this is dirt or something like that, but we can include it. So let's go noise texture over here. We'll go add and color ramp. Colour spelled the American way, not the British way. Let's go plus as well. Let's go to orange. Now this is really great for our orange that's kind of coming through, and the white bits that are just going to be randomly projected onto this. Now what we want to do is press plus, and what we're going to do is, let's go with a dark green. Just for some of those little imperfections that are going on. And what I'm going to do, let's bring up the black just ever so slightly, and the green we can keep there. And I think the orange is going to be the centerpiece right here. So, we kind of want a texture like this, but what I'm also going to do, let's do I think it's a mix. Yep. Okay, so we got factor A, which is going to be the orange. And then we're going to have factor B as well. Now, I'm not too sure why it's gone black and white, but let's see if we can work with that. I'm going to go ahead and add another orange to this, but a little bit of a brighter orange. Come on, let me... I'm going to get rid of the mix just for a moment. Let's go colour to base colour just real quick. Just try and get those oranges in. Maybe just reduce that green ever so slightly. Let's pull this across. Bit more orange in there. So we could go ahead and just make this slightly metallic. So you've got that nice little rubbery tone. And the roughness, I mean, you could bring the roughness down if you want to, but it will look like glass. So maybe just bring the roughness just upwards, just slightly. I'm going to get rid of this white. See what happens. Oops. Let's go minus on the white. We've got the orange coming through. Got the nice little yellow coming through just in the background. Some little green spots just randomly around. Scale this up, scale this down, whatever you want to do with it. Go like that, maybe bring in the texture, totally up to you. So right now this is what it looks like. So I think I'm just going to bring this texture in just ever so slightly, reduce that green. We'll have the orange, this kind of subtle orange to begin with. Maybe scale this down just ever so slightly, or scale this up just ever so slightly even. So you've got those little partitions right there. And then what I'm going to do is let's go to add. We'll go noise texture again. And then colour to, you can either go metallic or you can go roughness. Totally up to you. So now we've got this nice little kind of texture that's going on in the background. So if I just zoom out of this just a little bit. I'm going to take these two for the base colour and just move them up. And then I'm just going to go ahead and move the texture down so you guys can see what's going on. You can go ahead and add a bump texture to this as well. So you can place the bump texture just there. Colour to height. It should kind of make this kind of texture if we turn up the distance just ever so slightly. And you can mess around with the fade as well. So what I would say with this is just turn the strength down just ever so slightly. So you've got that kind of nice little look to it. We could go ahead and start distorting this noise texture from the roughness. You go ahead, bring the roughness up. You can go ahead, bring it down, whatever you want to do. The detail, I'd say about there, and just reduce this just ever so slightly. So we're going into minuses here. Let's see. You see now that we've got this nice little bumpy tone. So this is the, I'm going to butcher this, the Lacnomas something. Yeah, so you can also distort this too. You can have like some crazy patterns going on, but to be honest with you, I don't think that's something that you'd want. So I'm just going to go ahead and change that to 0. So now you've got this nice kind of like rubbery texture going on. We could go ahead and change up the roughness if you wanted to, and this is how it would look. Go down and change the roughness again, and it kind of goes to a glass. So you just kind of want to play around with it, just see what's going on. Just as is. 1 second. So you could have something like that if you wanted to. I would definitely go back in on the sculpt mode and just kind of sculpt this a little bit more. I think that would work. I'm just going to go ahead and add a plane at the moment. Just scale this out so we've got kind of something for this to sit on. And go back to layout. Take your pumpkin. Press G. Bring it up. So now we can look at this just on a plane. Let's go S for scale, bring this up. And you can see that we now have this nice little pumpkin going on. I'd like to add some more texture to this, definitely. The bump texture, maybe we can edit that just a little bit. So if we go to shading, and we just come back on this. Let's go ahead and just pull that strength up a little bit. So you've got that nice little bump going on. Maybe we could use distance just a little bit. Okay, so once we've got that one, you can do a mix. You can do kind of like a mixed tone, but let's see, mix shader. So let's put this mix shader between noise, texture, and color ramp. Hopefully it works. For some reason it's not. So let's go shader 1. Should be something like that. Okay, maybe it's not working for me. It's even mix shader, it's another one. Let's go add. I'm thinking, because I always get this wrong with the mix ones. Let's see an add. So we've got factor A and factor B, which could work in our favour actually. So let's try the add. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this green real quick. Let's go minus for the green. So that we've just got this nice little orange going on. The yellows. And then I'm going to add kind of like a light yellow at the end. Kind of a white kind of yellow. Just about there. Pull that orange into it just a little bit. So you've got little imperfections, but it's fine. And then we can do, let's go with, let's go with another texture on here. So let's go with add. And we could do like a Veroni. I think it's called the Veroni texture. This will give some little scratches and stuff. Little imperfections, as you can see. So you can go ahead, scale this up, scale this down, wherever you want it to be. So that's going to give, say like, maybe it's got some, I don't know, like, texture differences, or whatever like that. So we can go ahead and put that on. And then if we take the factor just here, we can actually move this across and make it stronger, or we can take this back a little bit. So now we don't have perfections all over the place, we just have little perfections in just little places, you know what I mean? So you can go ahead and you can add more of these if you want to. You can add, let's see, you can go add again, and you could make, say, like little, I don't know, maybe mud fell on it or something like that. You could have some more little imperfections there. Totally up to you with what you want to do. I'm just going to go ahead and just take all of these and just press G, bring them up. What I'm going to do, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. So you've got like noise texture, Veroni texture underneath, ramp and stuff like that. If we take this one, just to go with Shift D, oops. we just want the add. Shift D. We can place the add here, and you could actually make some more imperfections with this. You could go with Shift D, make another one, and we can go colour to B, and we can go ahead and change some of these colours on the second one. So we have our nice little pumpkin going on just there. So with this particular pumpkin, I can see that we've got like little black marks, we've got a couple of imperfections down at the bottom. So what I can do is take this white right here, we can make this black, and what I can do, so let's go to factor B just for 1 second. We can go ahead, scale this, rotate details, let's go roughness, a little bit more rough, maybe just on this bit. Scale this up just ever so slightly so it's got different patterns. So now we can go, this is from factor B, we can and this is factor A. So you see how factor A is really smooth, and then when you go to factor B, you've got all these little imperfections. So if you take maybe a mid step just here, say about 0.6, you've now got these nice two little textures that are going on just in the background, just where the pumpkin is. So yeah, that's basically the pumpkin itself, and we'll make the little spout that's going to come up on this as well. So let's go back to layout. I'm going to go ahead and add, let's go with a cylinder. A cylinder actually might work best with this. Let's go G, bring this in. Or just put this in the center just slightly. Let's go G, bring this down. What I'm going to do is just make some imperfections. So let's go with the top face right here. I'm just going to press G, bring this into the middle. So it's generally quite small for the actual spout itself. So let's press A, scale in. Press G, bring it down. Just to about here, say. Let's go G. Oh, sorry. Let's go back with that one. So, what we can do, let's get this top face. We'll go G, bring this down just ever so slightly. S for scale. Then we're going to go E for extrude. And what you want to do is just bring this kind of in. So you got this nice little pattern. To be honest with you, I think I went a little bit too wide. So let's go on X-ray so we can see what's going on. So you just want to go ahead, scale this out. Maybe take this top face right here, bring this up. E for extrude. What we're going to do is just bring this into a nice little cone at the top. Scale this in. Ever so slightly. And then E for extrude. Rotate. G at the side. And then E for extrude, bring it out. Scale it in as you're going up. Just ever so slightly. And then E for extrude again. And then we're going to go S for scale. Just bring it round. Now at this point you can do E for extrude and then you can scale it in, E for extrude, scale it in. Now to do this, and the reason why I would do this is so that you can make little imperfections at the top. I'm just going to press G, just bring this down again. So it's a little flat, so it looks like it's been cut. Let's go slightly upwards there. Okay, so let's go right click shade smooth. And what we can do is go into the sculpt mode right here. So let's go sculpt mode. You want to make little imperfections on there, so we can go ahead with the blob tool. You want to go minus and you want to change your radius down and pull your strength up. So essentially what we're doing on this one is we're going to make little ridges. And my hand has gone numb again. My hand's like up here on my desk. Okay, so these little ridges that we're going to make. Let's go ahead, just pull this down. You're probably not going to see it on this one. I'm going to take this X-ray off actually. It's kind of really distracting. You can go with the objects mode itself, go to edit mode, and we can select A and then subdivide, subdivide, subdivide. As long as your computer can handle it, so we can make all these little lines and imperfections. So let's go back to sculpt mode. And we're just going to go ahead and just make like some lines on here, little imperfections, X, Y, Z. Kind of pull the base out just a little bit as you're doing it. Had some lines going up, maybe change your radius just a little bit too. Just kind of pull that in. Make some points at the top so it looks like it's just been cut, like randomly, or snapped off. Just like this. So we're essentially going to do the same thing that we did with the pumpkin with this. So what you need to do as well at the bottom here, just like pull it out just a little bit. Just give it that nice little ridge. Okay, so once you're done with this, what we're going to do is let's go to shader. Now we're going to be making a new texture with this, so let's just move this across. I'm going to pull this down so you guys can see what's going on. Essentially what we want is kind of green and it's kind of brown and it's kind of got some little white bits on it, and it's also got some fading, and I don't know whether that's due to the cut, but there are holes in the top of it. There's like little streams kind of stuff, if you guys can see that. It's like a little hole, so we could definitely put that in as well. Let's go ahead and add a nice little green to this. Let's go new. You got principal BSTF and you've got the outlook. Let's go add. We'll go for a noise texture to begin with. It's generally my go-to. Let's go color to base color. And we're just going to go ahead and scale this up just ever so slightly. And what you want is almost like, you know when you do stars and you've got a noise texture with stars, you want that nice little contrast of the stars and you want that nice little contrast of the back. So this is what we're going to try and achieve. So let's go with add and we'll go color ramp. Put this one in the middle right here. You're going to want to pull the black up a little bit. You want to pull these two colours together. This is what's going to make the contrast. And then we're going to add, in the middle, a nice little deep green. And we're going to make it slightly grey as well. So you want a kind of faded, nice little deep green. Just about there. If you guys want the exact same colours that I have, all you need to do is type in the hex at the bottom right here and it will give you the same tones. Really neat thing that you can do. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce this white just a little bit. So we've got little imperfections, little spots. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just scale down the noise that's going on here. Maybe we'll put this as a 0. And then just work from there. See how this looks. So we can also mess around with the roughness as well, depending on what you want. And I'm going to go ahead and just roughen up this anyway because it's quite dry. Let's go scale, rough this up. Move it back there. That looks pretty good. This green is a little bit too much for me. I'm just going to make it a little bit more grayer. Just about there. Okay, so once we've got that, you've got your kind of little noise textures going on. What we can also do is I'm going to go with add again. Let's go with color ramp right there. Let's go add. So that's our base color. Let's go add. I think it was shader. Shader. No, it wasn't. I forget. Hold on. Let me go into the other material. So I think material 1 was the orange and it was just add. So this one. Let's go copy. And let's go to the other material. And then we paste. So the add right here. So we've got this nice little grey. You want to go with color ramp and noise texture. Let's shift D that one. Move these two down so you can see what's going on B. Plug it into B and we'll go factor B all the way so we can see what's going on. And let's go with, we kind of want a black and white on here. Let's go delete. Oh, sorry. Let's delete this grey, brown, kind of green colour off here. Let's go black to white to get that nice little contrast. Maybe scale this down just ever so slightly. Let's go to 0 again. Bring this up. It should, in theory, bring it up. I think we're just waiting on the effects right here at the moment. But I'm just going to go half fade this. Just to about there. Some reason this noise texture is not working. Let's go with the Veroni. On this side. So Veroni texture right here. We'll go color to FAC at the bottom. Just kind of pull this up a little bit. For some reason it just doesn't want to do it on this one. Huh. Interesting though. So yeah, let's take the factor down. Just kind of like have a half and half kind of factor. Hopefully that renders in a moment. So you can go ahead and you can make your metallic a little bit more if you wanted to. But to be honest with you, with it being quite dry, I wouldn't. Let's go ahead and add a noise texture again. And then this one is going to go colour into metallic. Keep your roughness up. And then we're just going to go ahead and scale this up. So now we've got some nice little texture going on. Just on the outside of here. And you can go ahead and add a bump as well. Let's place the bump just in the middle. Colour to height. And then we can do strength, we can also do distance. And just filter that out just ever so slightly. So now we've got this nice little pumpkin going on from the original. If you want to, you can add some little imperfections to this and stuff. I don't know whether I want to do this as one huge video or whether I'd like to do this as like multiple videos. I think I might do it as multiple videos because we are on the 48 mark at the moment. Well, 48 for me at least on the second recording because I had to make the introduction. So, yeah, I think I might do this as 3 separate projects actually. I'm going to go ahead and just sculpt some of this again. Let's go to sculpting. I'm going to make some little bumps and imperfections for this particular one. And just kind of tap it all over the place. Strength all the way up. And just start tapping. You can improve your radius if you want to. Let's go. Just kind of give it a little bit of texture additionally to what we've given it. You don't want it too sharp, but you want just like that nice little bump kind of going on. Okay, so when we render this is what it should look like. Like some more little bumps on there. Stuff like that. So that's our first kind of pumpkin kind of style that we've gone for. We could add some more detail just on these little ridges right here. So yeah, this is the first one. And I'm going to do the second one in another tutorial, and then I'll do the third one in a third tutorial. Hopefully they will be out relatively at the same time. So yeah, if you guys like this tutorial, like, subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers, bye.